This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins.
RTV6 working for you means digging deeper and providing context when our community faces major problems.
It is our goal to bridge the gap with our storytelling, especially when issues like gun violence change lives forever.
Tonight we are working to learn more now that 4 young men are charged in the shooting deaths of 4 other young people this month in Indianapolis.
19-year-old Robberies Anderson, 17-year-old Desmond Banks, his brother, 19-year-old Cameron Banks, and 19-year-old LaShawn Watkins. Those 4 are all facing several felony charges apiece, including murder for the February 5th quadruple deadly shooting at Carriage House East Apartments near 42nd and Midhofer Road.
Investigators say those 4 planned a robbery, and in the process, they shot and killed 20-year-old Marcel Wills, 21-year-old Braxton Ford, 21-year-old Kamari Hunt, and 19-year-old Jalen Roberts. RTV6 has been in touch with the community throughout the investigation. One woman whose loved ones lived near the murder scene says she's heartbroken, but finding some relief in the news of the arrests.
As a mother, it's really sad for the family. I'm happy they off the streets right now. I'm really happy they really off the streets right now.
Sadly, nothing can bring back the lives of the 4 young victims, lives that were cut much too short by senseless violence.
It is essential to note IMPD detectives were able to make solid progress in the case thanks to a witness coming forward that led them to surveillance video showing the suspect's vehicle at the apartment where those 4 were shot to death. Initial hearings for all 4 of those defendants have been set for tomorrow afternoon.
And the search for solutions to end the violence is not slowing down. Today, the city highlighted the efforts of Voices, Inc. It's a day treatment program that helps young men in middle and high school with education, behavioral therapy, self-expression workshops, and more. These young men have typically been affected by violence, trauma, and poverty. The idea behind Voices, Inc. is to make sure these young men get the life skills to escape the vicious cycle of violence and crime.
Now let's get your Storm Team 6 forecast, getting a live look from our Weather Now camera downtown, looking north there. Sitting here just above the freezing mark, we're at 35 degrees at the 7 o'clock hour.
And Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory has our forecast.
And it's a quiet forecast, and I'll translate that. Not much going on. No rain in the near future. We're just kind of on cruise control here. We flip back, hit the afternoon high of 39 in Indianapolis. A little cooler to the north, a little warmer to the south. But it's the colder air that will continue to filter into the state. The next 24 hours will be quite cool, and it will be Friday morning where we hit rock bottom. Down 6 degrees from our high today, 33 current temperature in Indianapolis, already in the 20s in Peru. What will slow the fall and keep temperatures from really bottoming out tonight will be cloud cover. You notice that during the evening hours, clouds have been increasing. There's your northwest wind, generally 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperature at 11 o'clock in Indy, about 4 degrees cooler than where we are right now. As you wake up tomorrow morning, temperature 23 with mostly cloudy skies at the bus stop.
Major changes could be coming to a popular spot in downtown Carmel. There's a plan to replace the shopping center at 126th and Rangeline with new luxury condos. Megan Sanctorum is working to find out how this will impact businesses in the area and what residents have to say about the proposal.
For more than 10 years, Classic Kitchen and Granite has called this storefront home.
Physical location is great. The ease of parking is really wonderful, and it's just a place where people just stop in.
But this corner could soon look a lot different. Condos and homes replacing these stores. Renderings from the developer's website show what the building could look like. Residents who shop and eat at these businesses have mixed opinions on the proposal.
I think it's kind of sad. I think we have enough condos in Carmel, and I'd kind of like to see this stay as it is.
I think condos are important. There are a lot of new families coming in, but I think the businesses are important as well. Some of them are so niche, and people love having small restaurants close by.
The proposal does not include commercial space, so those restaurants and shops would have to find a new location.
Progress is good, but it's a shame that we have to leave.
If the project moves forward, the developer will be required to give businesses 12 months notice to find a new place.
I've looked at places and the prices will double. We'll just have to find the best thing for us that we can find.
City leaders say this is still in the very early stages of development, and they plan to present official renderings to the council for approval in the next few months. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And if there's something going on in your community or you have questions about a proposed change, connect with RTV6. Send us a message to workingforyou@rtv6.com and we can try to help you get some answers.
When RTV6 says we're working for you, we're always trying to get a resolution. The lights are back on after part of the interstate downtown was left in the dark. Back in January, we told you about 3 high traffic areas on the interstate that had been stuck in the dark. One of those areas was near the south split on the interstate. Tonight, as you can see, those lights are now shining again, brighter than ever. Indianapolis Power and Light have been doing some service work to several light meters in that stretch of road. INDOT says once it's made aware of an outage, its contract has 30 days to replace bulbs or make repairs.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's mission to bring you open jobs, available resources, and educational paths.
Yesterday in Hiring Hoosiers, we took to Subaru of Indiana Automotive to show you their STEM Learning and Discovery Lab for young students.
It's in partnership with INMAC, an organization working to connect students and industry leaders in manufacturing together with the goal of connecting kids to the numerous career opportunities in our state.
We know Subaru, Fiat, Chrysler, and Honda all have unique learning labs, but so do several area schools.
Check out this brand new INMAC Innovation and Discovery Lab in Dayton Elementary School. They call it their Makerspace Lab, and inside students are exposed to science, technology, engineering, and math in a fun way. The students also work together on completing tasks as a team. Principal Ryan Simmons tells us the young students come into the lab with so much knowledge of technology. This helps harness those skills in a learning environment.
Students are really excited, so we really have just gotten this off the ground and running right now. But you know, you see your students who may not always be excited about book work. They're able to come in here and they're able to get that hands-on experience. You're really able to see those students shine and see the light bulb go off.
So far, INMAC has more than 15 school partners for these specialized STEM learning labs. INMAC, through Purdue, provides an investment for studio equipment and STEM curriculum, and they plan to have at least 25 of these in place across our state by 2021.
If you want to learn more about these INMAC Innovation Studios and learn how to get this unique opportunity in your child's school, you can connect with them and learn more by visiting this story on our website at theindychannel.com.
They are becoming growing targets for armed robberies. Coming up, RTV6 speaks to FBI experts as we try to get to the bottom of the uptick in bank robberies.
Plus, a little bit later, Teachers Not Targets will take you inside the new program training teachers to be ready for the most dire of situations in their classrooms. Still ahead when the news at 7 continues on RTV6.
Storm Team 6 working for you.
Right now on the news at 7, RTV6 is working to get to the bottom of an uptick in bank robberies.
The FBI says it's tracking an increase of cases in Indiana. Our Nicole Griffin is sitting down tonight with a member of the Violent Crimes Task Force to find out why.
When the FBI is looking for the public's help in identifying or locating an individual, it's for a very important reason.
Just a month and a half into 2020, and the FBI's Violent Crimes Task Force is investigating 21 bank robberies in Indiana. During that same time frame in 2018 and 2019, there were just 7 cases. Special Agent Stephen Secor says they generally see an uptick right after the holidays, but right now the task force is trying to track down an accused serial robber, 25-year-old James Taylor. He's accused of robbing 6 banks in the Indianapolis area.
The robberies that he's committed seem to be escalating a little bit in the amount of time he's spending in the bank, and as you can imagine, that's very traumatic for the victim tellers and the victim bank employees. He's also an individual that does a little bit of his homework. We have a couple of banks we believe that he's been casing. We have made our banking partners aware. Obviously, our first priority is the safety of the public.
The task force has already made several arrests in bank robbery cases this year, including another accused serial robber in 2 other bank robbery cases. Now they need the public's help tracking down Taylor before another bank is hit. Working for you in Indianapolis, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Coming up, it's an investigation effort so successful it's getting an expansion. How the Crime Gun Intelligence Center has changed the way officers do their job for the better.
Clouds moving in from the west, but they won't produce precipitation here. What this H means for the weekend forecast coming up.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
The city is stepping up efforts on prosecuting guns used in crimes.
New today, the Crime Gun Intelligence Center is set for an expansion of resources. The idea is to increase federal prosecutions of illegally possessed firearms. IMPD is assigning more officers to the multi-agency partnership as part of the expansion.
The Crime Gun Intelligence Center, also known as CJIX, forensic and ballistic evidence to better investigate crimes and guns. Police say it's been essential in cases including helping them investigate after Fisher's canine officer Harley was shot and killed.
Without CJIC's help, we would never have been able to tie that weapon to people who had committed a wave of violence in Marion County and in Hamilton County.
City leaders say while the center is doing a lot, it's going to take changing the hearts and minds of people willing to use guns to stop the city's violence problem.
There are varying opinions on how teachers should be prepared for a potential crisis. Some groups are now taking a very hands-on approach when it comes to teaching to fight back. Our Chris Stewart spent a day in one Florida class for this story.
Tried not to be a teacher actually, but I didn't feel like I could run from my calling.
I teach at a homeschool co-op with about 50 children there.
I teach science in high school.
I've got 37 teenagers between the ages of 16 and 17.
I'm going to put my life for if I needed to.
It's a bad feeling to know that at any moment someone could come on the school and, hurt you, and your teacher, you, and the students don't know what you're going to do other than sit in a corner and hide.
If a bad day becomes a horrifying day, what's going to increase the survivability of yourself and the kids that are in your care?
Something happened that I was never prepared for. I had a transfer student who was facing some issues, and he brought a gun to school because he was hurting.
I always say this right here. The lion can't speak because the hunter's always telling the story.
So what we came up with was we wanted to teach teachers hand-to-hand combat.
Look, you see this? We start training with knives. We start showing them, pressure points and stuff. That's neat, ain't it? So you hear?
We wanted to teach them how to take down a threat.
We're gonna break down the entries on things on what they could do. I need some chairs. Go get some of them chairs. They could barricade the door 40 seconds.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in this corner.
We have the power to protect.
Get in this corner and put her down.
By teaching teachers how to defend themselves, you teach them to become the weapon.
I feel like
you gotta learn to climb on top.
Public feels like we don't want to talk about it, that we're scared about the subject, but we want to be trained.
And we look at classrooms and we look at the way they're set up, and we give teachers examples of what you could do if you had to run. Where would you go? If you had to hide, how could you best hide your kids? And if you had to fight back, what do you already have in your room that you could fight back with?
It's a difficult conversation to have with students, but I believe it's absolutely necessary.
It's very reassuring to know that your teacher is trained to do this sort of stuff.
We talk about school security. Security is really the feeling the child has of knowing that they're safe when they're at school. And I would rather see us prepare to live than prepare to die.
I want to be calm under fire, and I want to be able to be that strength for those kids.
We're not powerless, we're not helpless. We can protect them if we learn what to do.
4 people could be orbiting Earth for fun by the end of next year. SpaceX has announced a plan to send 4 regular civilians into space, either in late 2021 or early 2022. They'd take a couple trips around the Earth over the course of 5 days, going farther from Earth than any astronaut has in decades. This is part of a SpaceX partnership with Space Adventures, a space tourism company that's taken wealthy Russians into space in the past. No word on the cost this time, but previous space flights have reportedly cost tens of millions of dollars.
What do you think, Kevin? Want to go? Would you do it?
You guys can send me a
Is that
postcard.
the start of no?
Probably not. I don't think I would be brave enough to do that. The cost is one thing. If it seems way too expensive, you just break it down into 3 easy payments.
Right. $4 million a piece.
There you go. But I think I saw one of the launch sites because I was recently last summer at Cape Canaveral, and I think that's one of the spots that they launched those from.
The spaceport.
And that I will not be on one of those. Cold temperatures. Okay, the 7-day planner you'll see, temperatures will rebound after our coldest day on Friday. But beyond the 7-day forecast, indications are much of the country will experience below average temperatures. That will take us to the end of the month, and even stepping into early March looks like below average temperatures. By the end of the month, average temperatures will be in this 44 to 45 range and upper 20s for overnight lows. That's just looking ahead. Let's stare at the now. 30 in Crawfordsville, 33 in Martinsville and Indianapolis. Remember, our high temperature today was just 6 degrees warmer. But tomorrow, we won't even be this warm for the high temperature. Temperatures will continue to fall. Dry stretch next 4 days. The string of gray that you see kind of streaming into the state, that's the cloud cover from the west. We've got snow in portions of Nebraska and Kansas. That will be pushed to the south by an area of high pressure that sits here. That will force the precip to the south and open the door to even colder temperatures for us. Coldest morning will come during the day on Friday, but temperatures tomorrow will stay in the 20s for highs. That's after starting at 21. Friday morning coldest, 15 degrees. Then, as you can see, we're bouncing back slightly Saturday. You'll notice a change. Those weekend high temperatures will feel a whole lot better. I'm assuming you're smiling about the fact that we'll have a dry stretch of days. I would even include Sunday in the dry stretch of days because it's not until late Sunday night that our rain chances will increase. Clouds are increasing as we speak. First half of tomorrow dominated by the cloud cover. Second half of tomorrow, a little sunshine to go with the temperatures that will be 10 degrees colder than what we experienced today. There's the gray of the cloud cover through 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you see more of a break in there. Low temperatures Friday morning. In the teens, Lafayette, Logansport, Marion, temperatures in central Indiana, again in the teens. You will not see temperatures this cold in the remainder of the 7-day planner. Friday planner temperature by noon already at 29, and the afternoon high makes it above freezing. You got to take these little milestones. So if getting above freezing is a milestone, then climbing above 40 is the next milestone. We'll accomplish that on a Saturday, 48. There are no 50-degree temperatures in the forecast. That Sunday, 48 degrees is the warmest.
It could happen.
Oh, I mean, once you get to March, that momentum just goes.
All right, thanks, Kevin, for that.
Well, still ahead, she thought she was the picture of health, but that all changed when she realized what was really happening. How spotting a heart attack in women is much trickier than you'd think.
A live look at the downtown Indianapolis skyline. We've got another chunkier forecast with Kevin. That's next right here on RTV6.
You're handier than I thought.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death for women in the United States.
But some see it as a man's disease, and that can lead to women writing off the symptoms as something less serious. That's exactly what Pam Noblet thought when she started feeling discomfort in her shoulder and then pain in her jaw. Her husband, Jerry, took her to the hospital where the 65-year-old was told she was having a heart attack.
Shortly after she was brought to a room, her heart stopped. After 10 minutes, nurses were able to revive her. Pam was rushed to a procedure room and was told that she had 100% blockage in one of her arteries.
I never, ever thought that it would happen to me. I mean, because I'm healthy, I would go to the doctor every year, have the physical, and I don't think I'd be here today if we had waited.
Pam says she hopes her story can be a wake-up call to other women to know the signs of a heart attack, be aware of family history, and to go with your gut when you feel something just isn't right. We've been profiling women for Go Red. You can find all of our features right now on the RTV6 app.
Always helps to know the warning signs with that.
Absolutely.
Kevin's here with a final check of our forecast.
So no matter what you're waiting on, it takes patience in life, right?
Yes.
So if you're waiting on spring, 18 days until we, well, wait a minute, I already messed myself up. That's 29 days until spring. And I was going to say 18 days till we spring forward.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what you meant.
Forward. And then a lot longer for the 500.
I like that. The countdown is on.
Yeah.
We have 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. See you at 11.